Hey everyone, happy Victoria Day. So I haven't done a video on this channel as I've been focusing on my other channel, which is called Crafting with Vanessa and the Pooch, and it just focuses on DIY crafts. But I thought I would do a channel today. And what I want to talk about is just kind of mental health in general, but specifically, I think that something that people have definitely resonated with and has come up has been mental health during this pandemic. And it's been over a year now, and I think there's a large portion of people that have been affected by COVID-19, but through the lens of like mental health. I know for me personally, when the coronavirus came around, I was experiencing some anxiety. Just the fact that I had to be locked inside my house. Now, normally, a lot of people that have anxiety or social anxiety, probably the coronavirus maybe worked in their favor because those type of people that experience social anxiety or very bad anxiety, they don't want to leave their house. But since my anxiety has been a lot better over the recent years, it was hard for me to just stay inside and not be able to go anywhere. Luckily, it was like last summer, I did spend a lot of time outdoors and I went hiking, and that's when I met my current girlfriend. But I'd say definitely in the winter time in March, it was really bad. I had to be on EI because I couldn't work because of pandemic. But yeah, for me personally, like I just felt like very anxious and like not being able to leave my house. And this was like when the pandemic had just started, and my parents didn't even want me going like anywhere. But then when it came to summer, I was like, you know what, I can't stay in my house anymore. You know what, like I gotta take the risk of going out. And then that's when I was on dating apps, and then that's when I met my girlfriend, and then we started going hiking and things like that. But I'm not against the lockdown, but after it's been over a year now, like people need to go out and do things. So that's why I think it's really great that they have opened up the sports facilities out now, because people, they need to get out, they need to be active. Like that's really good for people's mental health and anxiety. You can't expect people to just stay locked indoors all the time. Like maybe during the wintertime it's not so bad, but even so, like, you can't expect people to just be locked inside. And I think that's definitely been the hardest thing, and definitely for people not be able to see their friends or their loved ones. But now that we've gotten to the stage where more and more people are getting vaccinated, which is really good, so then people can go see other people. But it's just been a very hard time for many people. For me, I lost my uncle, who was in his 60s, to COVID. It was my aunt's second husband, and it was terrible. And at the beginning of COVID, I was like, oh, I don't even know anyone that has COVID. But now that it's been over a year, I keep hearing more and more stories of people that I know that have gotten COVID, or friends of mine that have told me their friends have gotten COVID. So like it's a very unknown, scary certain time. But now it seems like the cases are starting to go down, which is good. It's just, I think time is really going to tell in September. You know, the summertime is usually when COVID numbers seem to be down, but I think time will tell when the schools eventually do open, and I really hope that a lot of people by that time get vaccinated. I think we're about 50% or so of the people have gotten their first dose, which is really great. And I think it's hard too for those people that have been hesitant about getting the vaccine because of their health in terms of like blood clots, and then just kind of being scared. You're putting a vaccine into your body that you're not really familiar with. But I had the Pfizer vaccine, and I didn't have any symptoms, which was great. And then I'm getting my second dose in August. But it just gives me a sense of relief knowing, I'm vaccinated and most likely not going to get it. But, people have to understand too, just because they get the vaccine doesn't mean that they're not going to get COVID, but you still have to be cautious, wear your mask when you go out and everything, of course. But I think his most important thing is that, even if you're feeling anxious still about COVID, you gotta keep your mind busy and do things that you enjoy. Whether it be crafting, meditating, exercise, just because gyms are closed doesn't mean you can't exercise. So, even if it's just going for a walk, now the weather is nice, so you should take advantage of the outdoors. I've already been, so far this spring, I've gone out in a canoe with my girlfriend 2 times, and it's a lot of fun. So, participating and getting involved in like outdoor activities is really important. And the worst thing you can do is like not talk to anybody and kind of just stay locked inside. But I think the best thing, even just being out in the sun, it just helps your mood. And yeah, I think also an important thing too, definitely during the summertime, this kind of goes without saying, is drinking a lot of water. I know I have this problem too where I don't drink enough water. And I actually do want to start drinking more water. Even for me, I've noticed when in the past when I've had bad anxiety, I would literally just touch something that was cold, like whether it's an ice pack or holding a cold glass of water, a cold bottle of water, and that just immediately kind of gave me a little bit of relief in terms of anxiety. I always think back now to when I self-published my book Anxiety Girl in 2017, and now I look at it and I'm like, oh my god, there's so many more things that I like could have added. But I do talk about this in another video on my channel. There's like certain tips of things that you can do to immediately kind of alleviate any symptoms that you're having with anxiety. And the ice pack thing is really great, and I know a lot of people have told me that that's helped them as well. And anxiety is a very tricky thing, but that's why I self-published my book, just so like people could relate and then understand and be like, so they can feel that they're not alone. Until this day I'm still getting sales, whether it's an ebook or the paperback. I have got some sales with the audiobook, but I think more people really resonate with the ebook or paperback version. One of my friends recently just got a copy of the ebook, and I really appreciate when people support me with my book. And anxiety is a thing that's always gonna affect people, whether it's situational or just generalized anxiety disorder in general. That's why I always appreciate when people support me with my book. Or I've had people that just want to learn about anxiety, that's why they've bought my book, or because they have a close person, whether it's a loved one or friend, that's experiencing anxiety, and then that's why they wanted to get the book. So I really appreciate those that have supported me with my book or helped to promote it. I really appreciate that, and that's what people have to understand too. There are other ways to support authors. It's not just by purchasing, which is, of course, that is the main best way to support authors, but also just like promoting on social media, so then other people see it and then maybe they'd be interested, in purchasing the book. But yeah, so I hope those tips help in terms of like COVID and mental health. And remember, just because you're not able to go see a social worker or therapist now, actually I'm not too sure about the rules about that in terms of COVID, but there is a lot of like online therapy that you can do, so you just got to do your research and find it, and just know that you're not alone. And even though it feels like this pandemic is never going to end. It will eventually end, and things will start to go back to somewhat normal. But yeah, just remember to stay on top of your mental health and to do what makes you happy. Thanks so much, guys, for watching, and happy Victoria Day.